We've all heard the saying, the grass is greener on the other side. But is it actually greener? I've done my fair share of scientific research, okay, maybe not in a lab, but on the ever-reliable internet. Yes, even Reddit. So, if we were to answer this question literally, strictly speaking, yes, our neighbor's lawn does look greener. But that's because we're looking at it from a perspective. We only see a sea of green as the angle conveniently hides the soils and gaps in between each blade of grass. However, I'm not here to give you a cliche, don't be too hard on yourself, everyone has their own struggles type of speech, just because of the minute assurance of that other people's lawns have flaws too. Rather, I want to ask, what if there actually is a way to measure the greenness of grass? Imagine you step onto your neighbor's lawn and realize, wow, this actually is greener. Now what? Besides the natural feeling of envy, we also can't help but wonder how they manage to get their grass so green. We see our neighbors' vibrant green blades, lush and thriving, and we assume they must have had it easy. That somehow, they were just gifted with better soil, better rain, and overall, the perfect set of conditions. But when you really think about it, greener grass isn't just about luck. What we don't always see is the effort. The early mornings spent watering, the labor of pulling weeds, and the patience required for growth. We romanticize an illusion because we only see what is, not what was. Just like we only saw the rigorous grass of our neighbors, but didn't see the sacrifices they made along the way. But if we spend too much time looking over the fence, we forget to tend to our own. Then now it comes the real question, the one that stung the most. Am I prepared to make the same sacrifices and dedication to the same degree? More importantly, do I even want to grow grass in the first place? I'm sure by now we all know I'm not talking about grass, right? I want to shed some light onto something I'm sure we all have experienced at least once in our lifetime. The constant influx of information on others' success and the endless doubt of who cares of the thing that I'm doing, and the foggy future ahead surely keeps me up at night. If you'd ask any traditional Chinese household, the only careers that really are accepted are doctors and engineers. In my house, engineer, great, but doctors, absolutely divine, the pinnacle of human achievement and the golden ticket to life itself. I remember my mom always telling me how her friend's child got into med school and wanted me to follow the same footsteps. Well, all I thought was, wow, med school. She surely did have lots of faith in me. So for the longest time, I thought my purpose was clear, to become a doctor. I thought of it as my only path, because that was what I believed success looked like. And so I followed the script. Sign up for volunteering, science courses, science-related extracurriculars, and built my life around my parents' expectations. Since grade 7, my dad would carry stacks of science and math textbooks from China for me to read. Grade 7 summer to grade 10 summer, I remember my mom sitting by my desk all day, teaching me all the concepts. Though my mom was proud of me being accepted into biomedical engineering, she still saw it as a step away from the richest, greenest field possible to stand in, medicine. Yet all this time, I never took the time to pause and ask myself, am I growing my own garden or someone else's? It wasn't until application season that I began to think of this question deeply. But even then, I didn't have an answer. Though I knew I enjoyed science, but with so many voices telling me what I should do with my future, I never gave myself the space to figure out what I wanted. I told myself I wanted to become a doctor, but deep down, I was terrified of choosing a different path. What if I've ended up regretting it? What if I looked back and thought, I should have listened to my mom? Whenever I brought up different career interests at the dinner table, I want to be a forensic scientist. I want to become a fashion designer. They were shot down with a simple, be realistic. And honestly, that's about the response I expected. So what I did was I stopped bringing this topic up. I stuck to the plan, which to me is the safest choice. The doubt never really left me. I eventually became so worried about who I'll be in the future and whether my garden will grow, that I'm forgetting where I'm standing right now as a dream come true from the little me 4 years ago. I spent so much time stressing about whether I'd make it that I didn't realize I was already making it. If you think about it, if greener grass isn't just about luck, if it takes sacrifice, effort, and patience, then shouldn't you at least be the one choosing what you want to work towards? Shouldn't you be the one deciding what type of garden you want to grow, rather than blindly chasing someone else's success? Even more, surely they can be successful, but are they even happy about where they are right now? Do all doctors like their jobs? What if they hated it? We often assume that standing in the greenest field is the happiest field, but is that really true? So, instead of being paralyzed by what I'll do and what I'll be in the future, I've learned that watering my own garden now, or whatever it is, matters more than thinking what it will become. Until this day, I still don't know what I want to do or who I want to be in the future. Maybe an engineer, maybe a doctor, or maybe I'll go into business. Maybe I'll end up loving sitting in labs all day and working on research, or maybe I'll wake up one day and decide to start a tech company. I started my first draft of today's chapel speech writing about regrets. Now, this is my 5th draft, and I'm on a whole new topic. So who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the future? And that uncertainty used to terrify me. I used to think that by this point in grade 12, I should have had everything figured out. But I come to realize that not knowing isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of possibility. It is normal to be paralyzed by the ambiguity of the future, but it doesn't have to define you. What defines you is how you respond. Think of it as an untended lawn. Do you let it wither, or do you take the time to nurture it? So, would you choose to stand still, worrying about the unknown, or would you take a step forward and start exploring? You should never look at something and think, if only I had started sooner. The truth is, it's never too late. Every step you take, every choice you make, will shape you in ways you might not even realize. I loved forensic science shows, so I started a forensic science club. Check. I was interested in musicals, auditioned for one, got in but didn't perform, auditioned again, wasn't accepted, sad, but check. I always wanted to try debate. I'm greatly scared of public speaking, but look at me now. Check. Though my parents were just a little strict on my career goals, I'll always be grateful that they supported me in exploring my interests. They encouraged me to try new things, never pressuring me to stick with something that didn't spark joy, but always giving the freedom to discover activities that truly excited me. I started with piano at 5, and over the years, I tried violin, clarinet, flute, and even found my own music band. Other than music, I tried golf, ping pong, swimming, figure skating, and much more to count. Fine to say, I don't even know how to step on ice anymore. Though, I didn't stick with every activity for long. Every one left an impact on me in some way. Some shaped my passions, while others simply brought me joy in the moment. Whether I succeed isn't the point. It's about giving myself the chances to cultivate my interests. And today, I urge you to do the same. While you face struggles on your path, remember, everyone else does too. Some people find their passions at 18, others take years to figure it out. Maybe now you want to go into finance, but at 40, you'd rather be a software engineer. Some stick to a single path, while others change directions more times than they can count. So no need to compare yourself with others, because everyone has their own pace. What matters is that you're growing, that you try and fail without fear. It's never about choosing the wrong path, but about never allowing yourself to choose at all. Maybe you'll stumble, maybe you'll realize something you once loved isn't for you anymore. But none of that means you've gone the wrong way. It just means that you're growing. So take this time to explore any ridiculous dreams you have. For middle and upper schoolers, I hope you take every chance that excites you. Join the robotics team, audition for the musical, sign up for your favorite class, or try out for a sports team. For senior schoolers, if you still have time, I also hope you can take part in experiences you've always been curious about but never pursued. Debate, leadership positions, just give it a shot. High school goes by fast. My first time stepping into classrooms of Appleby in grade 8 still felt like yesterday. Before you know it, the opportunities given will no longer be within reach. For grade 12s, we only had 3 months left until graduation, one last co-curricular to choose from. So I want you to do whatever you want for this last one. Choose something that excites you, not what looks best on your resume, not what someone else told you to do. Do something for yourself. Explore your interests, plant in different fields, test the soil, and figure out where you truly belong in. Even if you fail, who cares? You're not supposed to have it all figured out right now. So take risks, try something new. Let go of the fear of falling behind or making the wrong choice. Because at the end of the day, the only real mistake is never giving yourself the chance to grow. Also, who knows? You might see others growing a perfect garden, but you could be filling your pond to make an ocean. My name is Michelle, and here's to more life, more everything. Now please join me in saying Draw the Circle Wide, number 418.